Welcome to Maono Prayer Center, where petitions to the courtrooms of heaven are filed.
Hello. Do you know how to tame your husband's male ego for a successful and happy marriage? Now, today we are going to see how we can use the male ego to rekindle our first love, to keep the marriage fire burning. Now, ladies, success in marriage depends on how you massage the male ego of your husband. It all depends on that. Now, we are going to learn 15 ways on how to massage that male ego of your husband to give you the maximum love, the maximum responsibility. Now, since the male ego is biased and allergic to ladies, allow me to give you two statements of disclaimers. Number one, husbands are not entirely responsible for what they don't do to you. Ladies, husbands are not entirely responsible for what they don't do to you or what they do to you. They're not responsible for that, totally. They're not entirely responsible. Number two, husbands are not fully responsible for what they say to you or what they don't say to you. This is because they are receiving instructions from the invisible commander-in-chief in them, commonly known as the male ego. Let me beseech you, let me persuade you that please understand them. Don't take offense. Don't go personal on them. Forgive them, understand them, for that's how they are wired. This is not their mistake. They find themselves doing, or they find themselves not doing, meaning they are not in control of themselves. Now, the male ego is anchored on two principles. It operates on two principles. Principle number one, ladies, if you can't say something nice about your husband, then don't say anything at all, number one. Number two, when you want to handle yourself as a person, please use your head. But when you are handling or dealing with your husband, especially when you are talking to each other or at each other, please use your heart. What do I mean by massaging a male ego? What do I mean by that? Massaging a male ego or massaging the ego, this is to do or say things to your husband or to the man, which will make him listen, feel needed, feel wanted, feel appreciated, feel special, feel important, feel relevant. Anything that you say or do to him that will make him feel special, appreciated, wanted, needed, please say it to him. That is what the male ego wants. Now, massaging the male ego, this massaging of male ego for the betterment of the family borrows its energy from the biblical principle of sowing and reaping, found in Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, which is the principle of sowing and reaping, also known as the law of multiplication, which states that three elements. Element number one, that you reap what you sow. Number one. Number two, that you reap more than you sow. Number three, that you reap in a different season than you sow. Now, what is this then you can do or say to your man, to your husband, that can make him feel needed, feel wanted, feel appreciated, feel special, feel important, and feel relevant? Number one, you can say this: babe, I'm so grateful for your spiritual leadership in this home. Hata kama haendi kanisa, so long as anaomba saa ingine, ama saa ingine anaenda kanisa, so long as he goes to church, so long as he prays one day, just tell him, babe, I'm so grateful for your spiritual leadership in this home. You know, men want to be seen as spiritual caretakers of their families, though most of them are not. Encourage your husband in his faith and tell him how grateful you are. Encourage him. Tell him, I like the way you pray for our families. You know, it feels so good, by the way. That seed that you have planted will germinate, will grow and bear fruit, and you reap more than you planted. Try today. Number 2, what is this you can tell him that he feels needed or wanted? Number 2, tell him, hey, babe, oh, my darling, you are so wise. You are so wise. You know, recognizing your husband's mental prowess in fixing things in the family, yeah, like children rivalry, neighbor conflicts, you know, the way he solves them, and then you say, "I, my dear darling, you know, you are so wise, babe. I really admire the way you settled that neighbor's conflict. I admired it. You know, nobody could have done better than that one. I'm so impressed with how you handled that situation. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of your wisdom and judgment. You are the man. I'm proud I married you. Keep it up, baby." You know, that statement alone will make the man feel needed, wanted, appreciated, important in that family, relevant. Yeah, the ego will feel good, and they will be surprised what that man will do to you. Try it. Number 3, what is this you can tell him that he feels needed or wanted? Now, side with him in a public debate for the sake of the family, for the sake of the children, happiness, for the sake of uniformity, for the sake of whatever. You know, side with him in public. Don't let other people know that you are not supporting him for whatever reason. Number 4, what is this you can tell him that can uplift his or boost his male ego? Tell him, darling, you are a tough guy. You are so tough. You know, when you tell your husband that he is tough, you know, when he exhibits or shows some masculine energy, tell him, oh, you are tough, man. Babe, that's one of the many reasons I married you, because you are so tough, you know, you're masculine, you're a man, you are the man. Tell him, oh, babe, I think that's, you know what, that's one of the many reasons I married you, yeah, for being tough. He'll feel great, you know, and feel pumped up when you call him tough, macho man, you know, and manly, you know. And this is a wonderful manure you will put to your marriage relationship to grow. Praise him for his strength. You are so tough, man. You know, it is your actions. It is your actions that you do, and the words that you say to your husband every day, that which will give you that dream husband you have been craving to have. I repeat, it is your actions and the words that you say to him every day that will give you the dream husband that you are craving for. Tell him good words, give him good actions, then you'll see a wonderful, wonderful man you have never seen before. Number 5, what can you tell him? Tell him you feel safe with him. If you tell your husband that whenever he's around, you feel safe with his presence. Men are typically known to be protective of their partners. That's their nature. So when you tell me that you feel so safe in his presence, it feels nice. Tell him that I feel safe when you are around, and even more safer when I'm in your loving arms. This statement, my dear sisters, will instantly inflate the male ego, and you are likely to see him stand tall and proud in that family. There is nothing he cannot do to you. Your statement of appreciation, your statement of recognition will usher in the principle of sowing and reaping, the law of multiplication, where you will reap what you have sown and also reap more than what you sow. The law of multiplication will kick in, and you will see a different husband that you never seen before. What is this other thing you can tell him to massage the ego? Number 6, give him a title. Give him a title award in the family. Deep down in the heart of every man, let me tell you, ladies, deep down in the heart of every man is the desire to be seen as a hero. You just buy something small, even a pair of socks, and present it to him in front of the children and tell him this: babe, you are the best dad and a caring, loving husband. You are the outstanding father. I thank God for you. Please take this little, it's not big, but take this as an appreciation. You are so wonderful. You are the best dad. Children, your dad is wonderful, wonderful man in this neighborhood. Please, can you hug dad, everybody? Then the children stand up and hug their dad. And you tell him, you are an outstanding father. I thank God for you. You also hug him before the children. The man will feel like he can come out of his skin, with happiness. Yeah, the male ego will not care much about the value of the present. That little socks, pair of socks that you have given him, to him is big. You know why? The male ego will not care much about the value of the present given to him, but it cares much on the recognition and the respect with which that socks has been presented to him. You can buy me a car, but if you have not given it to me with respect, I don't value it much, but give me a pair of socks and represent it with respect, and I see that respect in you. It means a lot to me as a man. It means a lot. And this is wonderful. This is special. Don't lose this one. Tell babe, or my darling, darling, and you show it in the face. You look him in the eyes and tell him, Papa John, given another chance, I will marry you again. You just look him in the eyes and without winking and tell him, my love, despite the weaknesses that you have, I'm blessed to have you as my husband. And if I'm given another chance, my dear, to do it all over again, I will still choose you to be my man. The man will feel great. The man will feel wanted. The man will feel needed. The man will feel valued. The man will feel appreciated. The man will feel relevant in the home. And he will give you all that you want. This kind of thing he will give you. This seed is so powerful. Plant this one, and you will see the changes. Tell him, my love, despite your weaknesses or who you are, everybody has got weaknesses. But I must tell you that I'm so blessed to have you as my husband and the father of my children. And if I had another chance to do it all over again, I look for you. Even in the seas, I'll still choose you to be my man. That's great. This one you reap big. Try that. Try that. Because a friend is that person who knows you in and out, knows all your weaknesses, but still loves you. That's why this statement that given another chance, my dear love, I will still marry you again and again. That's great. You can tell him, babe, honey, I really respect the family decisions, the family judgments that you always make. Tell him, Papa Thomas, you know what? I really respect the family decisions that you do make here. The judgments you make on behalf of this family, I respect them. Even if at times I criticize them, but eventually I see sense. So I respect the family decisions and judgments that you always make. Babe, I am fully behind you in this decision. I'm fully behind you in this sale. I'm fully behind you on this purchase. I admire your ability to make good decisions. You are a blessed guy. We thank God for you. If you are not happy with this decision, you can offer your sentiments in love. If from your sixth sense as a woman, you see that the decision is not that good, then what do? You have to know that the male ego does not care much about whether the man is criticized or not. But so long as you have done it in good tone, in respect, it is okay. What am I saying? If you feel the man is not doing, is not the judgment, the decision is making is not sound, you can advise him in a good way, in a respectable way, in a kind, loving manner. You put a foot down in love and tell him, babe, this is why I am against this. And you know what? The male ego does not care much whether the man is criticized or not. It doesn't care much, but it cares much how he is criticized. If you criticize him with a very high tone, what tone are you using to criticize or to correct? That's where the male ego comes in. You can be against your husband in love, in a good way. Yeah, the ego will not be aroused. But you criticize your husband with a high tone, negative tone, you can arouse your ego, the male's ego, in a bad way, and you won't like it. So I'm not saying that you allow your husband do whatever he wants to. No. Tell him your side of the story. Tell him, so long as you're the two of you, don't deal with him in public where the children are or third parties are. Tell him before you enter into your blankets in that bedroom, babe, there is something I want to talk to you. Yeah? And this is the thing. And this is how I look it. How do you see it? The male ego will not hear that. He will not be provoked. Why? It does not care much whether the man is criticized or not, but it will care much how the man is criticized. On high tone, it will wake up and you will see sparks of fire.